It's not a time for new imperialism or new colonialism. Accepting a sort of new colonial approach doesn't make sense.
And it's time to wake up. If not, he can make us slaves because we actually are slaves.
The middle powers must act together because if we're not at the table, we're on the menu. This is not sovereignty. It's the performance of sovereignty while accepting subordination.
Davos isn't exactly known for being a global force of anti-imperial resistance. So what does this tone shift among Western leaders tell us about America's role in the world?
Every conversation is Trump, 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 Trump.
As you know, Trump's kind of been on a tear lately.
We need Greenland for national security. We are going to run the country. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars.
What is your response to Iran's leadership?
I would absolutely hit them so hard. If anything ever happens, the whole country is going to get blown up.
And Davos was no exception.
Certain places in Europe are not even recognizable, frankly, anymore. That it's not heading in the right direction. They have to get out of the culture that they've created over the last 10 years. It's horrible what they're doing to themselves. They're destroying themselves. The United States is treated very unfairly by NATO. We give so much and we get so little in return. All we're asking for is to get Greenland.
Now, none of these complaints are new. Trump has clashed with US allies on pretty much everything. Their support for Ukraine, openness to immigration, plans to adopt green energy, low NATO spending, regulations on US companies, and support for Israel's war on Gaza. In his second term, the president's use of tariffs, his closeness to Russia, hostility towards Ukrainian President Zelensky, and threats to withdraw funding from NATO had already alarmed his allies. But recent plans to acquire Greenland may have been a turning point. That's why at this year's Davos, the center of Western wealth and power, America's own allies are talking about pushing back against US domination.
Can Europe defend itself? My answer is unequivocally yes.
Without the Americans?
Without the Americans.
Nostalgia will not bring back the old order. Europe must speed up its push for independence.
The face of America has turned to the Pacific. Their backside is turned to the Atlantic. And that will not change after Trump. We have to seek new alliances.
So, is this the point at which they decide that the US has overplayed its hand? And if so, what do they plan to do about it?